Okay, so you just watched Kyle and I, probably a little bit of close-up, probably a little bit of time-lapse of Kyle and I fighting with these four little rubber bushings. They have to go in the front support. There's a radiator support that goes over this. The front motor mount sits right here. You know, this sits toward the front of the car. So they're rubber isolated. A lot of people get rid of that stuff. Again, it doesn't matter. For whatever reason, I saw online when I was getting spares, oh, they're only like 75 cents or whatever. So I got 4 new ones. Holy shit, what a pain they were to press in. What we ended up doing, well, we tried to run it, we tried to just push them in first. Of course, that's not going to work. I tried to make a little bolt piece to sandwich them together, run the bolt in and squish the thing down in there. That didn't work. So I actually took the jack, and Kyle and I went out to the truck and just jacked this thing up into the tow hitch on the truck, you know, because to have a little basis to press it in. Now, had we been down at Kendall's and had the press, it would have been just totally negligible, you know, it would have taken 2 seconds, but we had to do a little rally service style since I have yet to purchase a press here. I think I'll do that now. We eventually got that press in place. So as we were walking back in, I said, hey Kyle, I've done this before. I said, well, what do you do it with? I once had to do a wheel bearing, and it's very similar to this, where it's a sealed bearing with snap rings on either side of it and a hub, and it failed on me, my house in Raleigh in college, and I had no, I think I got somebody to take me to get a spare, or maybe I walked or rode my bike there. I think I rode my bike to AutoZone or something, a couple miles, and got a wheel bearing, and came back, and both to remove the old one and to put the new one in, I had the car, the rear wheels were on the ground, the front was jacked up, and I think it was the driver's side. I had everything pulled out of there, and I had it on a jack stand. So I stacked this whole assemblage up with the hub sitting on the ground and sockets and everything in there underneath the car, underneath the subframe, and then just drop the jack and drop the car onto that stack of sockets and stuff. And after a few times of jacking the car up, recentering everything up, and then releasing the jack and just slamming the front of the car down on the hub, the wheel bearing eventually worked itself out. I had to be obviously a little bit more careful putting the new one in because I didn't want it to get off center, but I think I just greased the heck out of it. And with a little bit of luck, I just sent it right home. So that's a little trick for you. If you ever need to really press something in but you don't have any good surfaces, just get under a car somewhere and either jack it up into the bottom of the car, or if you're really hosed on it, drop the car into it. So I don't know, we'll get back to work here and try to get all this stuff bolted in. I don't know if we'll get the engine in quite right here in this episode. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but you saw how long it took us to just push 4 bushings in, so we'll get back to work here and see what we can get finished. Okay, so I just went through the subframe here. There are 4 captured nuts that are in the body that you have to bolt the subframe to. These are big bolts that go up to 96 foot-pounds of torque. And these are the 4, plus these 2 for the control arms up here that these absolutely can't back out. You'll have problems. I actually just had My friend Sean Smith, who rallies Mark II, who's just gotten into it, he had one of those bolts back out during an event, and you know, you just can't find them. You know, I want to bring extras and stuff, but that's really something you want to avoid ever coming out. So a lot of the big bolts like this, you may have seen this on the engine, some of the little shots we've done in the engine already. I've Loctited it, but I've also started doing the poor man's witness mark. So something you see this a lot in you know, aircraft. You'll safety wire something. I'm not really doing that on a lot of this stuff because I don't want to take the time to drill through bolt heads and crazy stuff. So I've actually, if you're at an amusement park and you're waiting in line for a roller coaster, look over at the supports, where the supports for the roller coaster legs meet the ground, and there'll be pieces of all thread coming up through the concrete and big nuts with little lines painted on them. So you can just drive around and see real quick, okay, that line, you know, that nut hasn't moved, that line of paint is not compromised, so it's still torqued and it hasn't backed out at all. So that's all I'm doing. It'll make it really easy for service to just look around and go, okay, witness marks, nothing's changed. I don't need to get the torque wrench out and check everything every time, but you can be close to 100% inspection when you just look around and make sure there's a white line. Now, there's probably some sort of better paint that I should be using for this. I know there are paint pens that do it nicely. I didn't think to get one of those. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get a different color for the next time so I don't have to get rid of the white. But for right now, I've just got this little thing of white out, and I just do not a huge glob, but just a big enough line in a prevalent space, and I get it right into that nook where the bolt meets whatever the main piece is, and that's pretty much it. It might crack a little bit. I'm kind of expecting that because this is, you know, not made for high temperature racing applications. It's made for crossing out something you screw up on your paper. So I'm gonna go around and do all these, then we'll pretty much call the subframe good, throw some motor mounts in, do the same kind of marking thing, throw the front mount in, do a little bit more torquing and marking as well. Then we'll probably call it an evening. We'll just say that everything is 100% ship shape, ready to throw the motor in, because pulling that motor off the stand, putting the new rear main on and clutch and flywheel and all that stuff, and mating the transmission up is not really something I want to go through at 10 p.m. in a sort of hasty fashion. I want to be very methodical and start with that process and do it all in one evening, just so you're sure you didn't put the throwout bearing on backwards or so, you know, crazy stuff like that. So we'll finish this up, we'll call this an evening, and we'll come back next time and throw a motor in this car finally. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying seeing some episodes come out now. Sorry I haven't been super active with things lately. I've just been poking around on the motor and getting other things done, doing other races and events. So now that things are cooling off, the weather's nice, don't have a lot of races coming up, we're gonna get cranking on this car here and hopefully get things really moving along. Not sure when we're going to turn the key on it, but there's going to be a lot happening in the next couple months. So stay tuned to Project Syncro for more. Thanks, guys. No.